All right, I am sewing up this pattern, McCall's 8090. I think it's a pattern I got at a pattern and fabric swap last year. And I'm making this because I really want a summer dress like this. It looks really flowy and comfortable. And so I'm hoping that this turns out well. I'm using this fabric I got from Fabric Hut. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's like maybe a cotton gauze because it's really thin. You can kind of see through it a little bit, and it feels like cotton. I really love the pattern of this with the blue leaves against the white background. So I'm excited about this. Looking through the sewing instructions, it looks like the bodice will be the hardest thing to make because it has this V-neck structure in the front that crosses a little bit and then has a gather right at the bottom of the V-neck. And so I just want to make sure I understand the instructions, reading through it, making sure I understand before I begin and later become frustrated. So that's why I only cut out the bodice pieces first. And I will start with the V-neck area. First thing I want to do is make sure I transfer the markings properly. It appears that small circles are important with this project. Usually I ignore the circles on the pattern piece, but it looks like the circles will become important. So I wanted to try two different marking tools. This is a disappearing ink, purple, and this is a chalk cartridge set. So I'm going to test it on a small piece first, just to see if the marking will show through. So, okay, this one, you can see it on the white. Can't really see it on the blue though. Okay, orange, you can see it on the white. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to try the chalk. I don't know how to get the markings off once you do it, but I'll worry about that later. So the markings go on this one. Small circle is here. So I'm going to take a pin through where the small circle should go and make a mark on both sides. Small circle. And see, well, one part is blue and one part is white. So having the orange be on both works out for me. And it will also be on the front yoke because these points need to match up when we put them together. Okay. First step is to take the front band and the front yoke. There are two of each of these. Put them together at the notches. Right sides together. Sew and then trim. Also for the front band, the interfaced ones, I need to turn in the seam allowance along the edge with the two notches. Seam allowance is 5/8 inch, holding it towards the interface side. Press down and then trim off a quarter. So the two front band and front yoke pieces are sewn together. The seam was pressed towards the band. And before in the next step, I'm going to trim this down as instructed. I also have pressed down the seam allowance of the interfaced band, and the instructions are to pin the interfaced band to the other front band and stitch at the seam allowance needed, and then trim that. And then once that's done, it's going to be turned inside like this and slip stitched on the inside. So I'll have to hand stitch that on the inside, but so far it's making sense, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down, trim this down on both sides, and stitch them together. Okay, so far so good. I got both of the front pieces sewn with the facing attached here, folded and pressed under with the extra seam allowances trimmed. So now I must slip stitch the facing to the front part. And so I guess slip stitching means you just want to catch a little bit of the underneath fabric, the fold, just to hold it down. So I'm going to come out, fold, doing a single thread. I've never done that before, so hopefully it works out. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of the fabric from underneath here, put a little bit of that, and then pick up some of the inside of the fold, the facing, oops, like that. And just continue up until I reach the other side. All right, I slip stitched it to the back very delicately, so that is done. The next step is to baste these two pieces together. So just overlapping the front pieces here and make sure this is lined up there. Basting it a little here. Then I'm going to take the front bodice, which looks a little big. Anyway, take this. I have the circles marked here. Instructions say to reinforce the circles. I'm going to stitch to these circle marks and then clip and then gather between the two circles. So I'm going to gather here, and then this is where this piece will go. Alrighty then, we have the front bodice here, 2 gathering stitches. I'm going to gather okay. It looks pretty gathered. So this is the front, and this is the front. So it wants me to work from the back side and pin this part kind of still front to front, but kind of weird like this. And the sides first. Take that to the machine and sew the sides here. And after that, I will take the gathered part, match to the bottom of this yoke part, and sew that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and serge the ends. Okay, so I sewed the yoke into the front bodice. It's looking so beautiful. Very nice. Gathers are here. Pressed down and serged the edges. I just need to clean up some of these basting stitches. It's looking good. So now we will take the back bodice and put it to the front. It already seems to be a little big, but I will make that judgment after I sew back to the front. If I need to cut it down or something like that. I'm gonna sew the shoulder seams and the side seams and give it a try on. So the bodice is looking really, really good. It's a little big, but I think with the bottom ruffles, it's gonna look really nice as a dress. I also really like it as just a top, so I might make the bodice again, even in the same fabric, just as a top, because it's really cute. So the next part is to put the facing together. I'm gonna sew the interface parts and the regular parts and put them together as instructed. Okay, so the neckband and the neckband facing are sewn together. Thank goodness for illustrations in the pattern instructions, because I'm not sure I would have understood what to do. But anyway, the facing was pressed under and trimmed and then sewn front to front and turned and pressed. So now this is the neckband. And now we attach the neckband to the bodice. Right side's facing. So this would go over here. And there are little notches right here. So I'm guessing this is where this would go. And then curving it around. That's going to be the hard part. Is like curving it around. And so when you do that and then you sew it down, you're going to turn it like this. Kind of like a stand-up collar type situation. And I'll probably have to baste this as well, or not baste, but hand slip stitch this down, and that will be the neckline. Moving on to probably the easier part of this project are putting the ruffles together. So each view has a certain number of ruffles. You have, the skirt, one ruffle and two ruffles. I think I want both of the lower ruffles, but I'm gonna just sew the first layer of ruffles first and see how it goes. So just need to sew these together and gather them and attach that to the skirt. All right, so I have the skirt piece and the lower ruffle or first ruffle piece sewn together. Got the gathering stitches ready to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew up or cut out the lower ruffle and make it the long version. And so all I have to do is gather the tops of these, attach them in layers. From ruffling the first layer, I can tell that it's only supposed to be like a really light ruffle, so it's not like going to be super full, only a slight amount of ruffling. So depending on how it looks, if I were to make this again, I would probably maybe make these ruffles a little bigger so it'd have a little bit more fullness. All right, so skirt and the first set of ruffles are sewn together. It's got a little bit of ruffleage to it. The lower ruffle, I hemmed the bottom before I gathered, so it would be easier for me, and then gather it so the seams are matching on the front and the back, which are here, because this is 3 pieces as well, and that should make it a little easier. Okay, so we are almost done with this beautiful, beautiful dress. The neckline was a little touch and go, but it all worked out in the end. At first I thought the neckband was too big for the neck hole, but once I started sewing, it all fit, so no worries with that. Sew that down. I just need to slip stitch it just like I did these front yoke pieces. Slip stitch the band down, and then it'll look like that. And for the armhole, we're going to use bias tape. Open it up on one side, stitch along the seam, trim it down, and then I guess fold it over on the inside. And that will be that for this dress. All right, this is the final dress. Isn't it so lovely? Very pretty. The only thing I would change would be is I would make it a smaller size. I think the armholes are a little large, and the bust has a lot of ease in there, so I would go down to a small. Sometimes the problem with these patterns are they tell you the size and the measurements that you're supposed to have with the size, and even though you match the measurements, it doesn't really doesn't tell you the finished size. Or it does give you finished measure garment, but the back length from base of neck. That's cool, but what about the bust ease or whatever, the waist ease? The hip ease. And since it's a flow dress, I expected a lot of hip ease, but the bust ease is where I would have wanted to size down. Anyway, I think it's really pretty. Neckline is really nice. I think it came together really nicely. Basting it down on the inside. The V-neck is nice. It's not laying flat here, but that's fine. And I love the tiers. I would also maybe make the second tier or the tier below the skirt a little more poofier, just to give it a little bit more volume, as the bottom tier has more gathering and more volume down there. So just a little bit more, and then this part doesn't have a lot. So basically I would probably make the blouse part or the top part a little smaller, more form-fitting, and make the bottom part a little more looser. But other than that, I think it's a lovely dress. I really like the fabric as well. It was okay to work with, a little thin, but overall it worked pretty well. And I can't wait to wear it out in the blazing summer hot sun. So please like this video if this was helpful to you. Subscribe to this channel for more sewing and DIY content, and let me know in the comments if you've made this dress or a version of it and what you think of it. Thanks for watching.